Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Mindful Merchants Live. You guys know who I am, Cali Reseller Luis. You guys know who this crazy guy next to me is over here. The guy with no mustache, the Lone Star Picker, Louie.
Got a nice clean shave, got a little fade on the side here. Let me get my eyebrows looking. And guess who we have here today, Luis?
Yep. We got it.
We got a 2-for-1 package.
Yep.
Dos per dos. We got Aimee. Aimee is the one wearing the cap, and Korbin is the one with the blonde hair. No, wait a minute. Let's swap those names. Let's get this straight. We have mention yourself, you guys. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit in a nutshell who you guys are.
Okay. Well, my name is Aimee.
And my name is Korbin. We are Cheap Finds Gold Mines. We've been full-time resellers for about 2 years now, going on 2 years. So our main niche is video games, consoles, games, collectibles. And we're starting to branch off the more we learn from the reselling community, but that's about it for right now.
Good deal. So you're both resellers. You stand on that 1 foot of the reseller and 1 foot of a content creator.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of content, more reselling based, but we're trying to get into it.
That's good. I like hearing that. That's kind of interesting you put it like that too, because there's a lot of people that I've met along the way that they talk about that struggle. The struggle is real, is between the balancing act of like, hey, you know, I'm trying to make content. And everybody thinks when you say I'm a content creator, just YouTube. You guys got to keep up with, and you have a pretty good Instagram presence.
Yep.
And that's really important, I think. I've talked about this in the past. Maybe you can talk about it a little as we go along later on. And Luis and I are going to, ask some general questions. We're just excited you're here. Yeah, Thank you. I think you've been highly noticed in the community as of late, but I think I've been watching you guys for a while. Luis has actually, highlighted you a couple times to me, and I'm like, I know they're really on their game. Like, you guys really make some genuine content. I think you guys have a good charisma about what you're doing. So I'd like to hear more about, what got you, into like wanting to be a content creator versus, like one thing or the other. But before we start any of that, let's say hello to a few people in the chat. And one of our first people here is Cajun Roots Reseller.
Johnny?
Hello, Johnny boy.
Hey, Johnny. How you doing?
Who do you see there, Luis?
Hello, Denise. How are you?
That's Miss Denise. We're happy to have you. Thank you guys for joining us. We have 2 wonderful guests today. And here we got, do you guys know this old man? I'd like to know.
Dad?
Is that Dad?
Dad.
In case you guys don't know, this gentleman here by the name of The Flipping Accountant, he did a wonderful video with these two here.
Yeah.
Cheap Finds Gold Mines. You guys, if you have not watched this, come see it. So if you're watching this on replay, if you're a new reseller, this is Cheap Finds Gold Mines. Their information is down below. We got the Instagram, and I got their YouTube links and stuff there, and you can be able to reach out to them. Go find that video. It's with Justin. It's crazy funny. It's
like an awesome video. Yep.
You guys, that was a great time. And it's
creative.
Go ahead. Say again.
We call him Dad because he's the one who started us.
He's the first person that believed in us and did the collab with us. So
that's awesome.
Dad.
Let me start with that question then. Like, how we brought this up, like in terms of we're on a show. We call this Mindful Merchants. Not everybody's familiar with it, and we don't expect everybody, but we hope that we can somehow get acquainted with more resellers and content creators that are resellers, and expose to them that there's this idea that Luis and I came up with called Mindful Merchants. We're all merchants. How are we mindful in our practice of business, our business models, and also like our manner of just wanting to kind of like be a part of the community, and our mindfulness, and also how we take care of ourselves. So like you said, it was really, one of the first content creators that really kind of had genuine, hey, you guys are great. This is good. And confidence in you. How did that affect? And I want to hear from both of you. Like, let's start with Aimee. She's the quiet one today. And what would you say, like, in terms of, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like if it was a boost to confidence or just that reaffirmation. I think getting to talk to other resellers and hearing them, hey, I'm going to reaffirm what you're doing is, this. How has that affected you with what you guys done so far?
I just thought that it was awesome because, you know, he was the first to actually, you know,
Mhm.
befriend us and believe in us, which was awesome. Thank you so much, Dad. I love you for that one.
It's an inside joke.
Yeah, not really. We just kind of came up with it one day and he stuck.
Yeah.
So
It's not a joke anymore. He's dead.
yeah, he's dead.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know. I mean, it was just awesome because we knew that, you know, we'd be able to go down there and travel, which we were down there the week beforehand, but we were able to go down and, you know, actually get to see who's behind the camera. And honestly, that to me, like, not the, you know, influx of subscribers coming in, that getting to know him was definitely the best part because we
That's
made
awesome.
an actual connection and he's like an actual friend. So
Exactly. Especially, you know, you get to meet somebody. It's one thing to watch them, you know, virtually, but it's another thing. Hey, in like, oh my God, I'm seeing you in the flesh, and then you see those colloquialisms, and then you realize, yeah, here's the human right in front of me, you know, and you sense their presence in a whole different way. It's like they can not posture. Like we have to do a little bit of posturing when we're on YouTube. I mean, you know, that's part of the whole, you know, thing is like we want to present ourselves in a certain way and fashion. But, you know, and there was something that was leading me to that, but it's like, you know, I just think it's incredible. Like, I think it's a really like a means of support. Like you said, Aimee, it's just like somebody that, you know, not only just believes in you, but like kind of just says, hey, you know, I'm here for you. You guys need help or something.
oh yeah,
Korbin, what about you? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we bug him all the time, especially whenever we were, you know, setting up our Amazon account.
Yeah.
We called him at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he answered.
Yeah.
And he was on the phone for about an hour. So
wow, I've only heard that from a few other resellers where they said, yeah, there's like I think it was like something Lobster. What's his name? Book Lobster. He's another content creator. Then he knows this other guy that I know. It's like I think he's in Tennessee, and he says you just call him at 1 o'clock in the morning. Hey, dude, what do you think about this? And then click, he'd hang up. You know, and just like do one of those random weird things. But it's like so when you hey, real quick, Aimee, you said we went down there. Can you tell the folks what state you live in and where did you go? So did you have to drive far to meet Justin?
it wasn't too far. It was about like a 5-6 hour drive. We are in Kentucky, and he's down in Abilamba, so Alabama. So it wasn't that far.
You had to go to Roll Tide country. Yeah. Lord have mercy.
It was pretty far. Oh, not far. It was a long drive because of the traffic. That sucked. There was like 3 hours worth of traffic.
And we changed time zones like 3 times. Yeah. So we were like
oh wow.
Yeah.
We're back to East. We're back to Central. We're back to really? I didn't know that. Oh, because you're kind of zigzagging. Okay.
It was weird. I was like, Justin, I don't know what time we're gonna get there. It just said 8 o'clock. Now it says 10. I don't know when we're getting there.
Gotcha. Here is Cajun's Roots Reseller. Johnny says he's got bingo tonight. I just want to remind everybody, after this, head on over, help support Johnny. He's a great guy. He's there in the morning. Big Daddy Brian's Thrifts says good afternoon, everybody.
What up, BDB?
What's up, Brian?
And in case you don't know, this is a really nice gentleman. He does have a YouTube channel. I'm not sure how active he has been on it, but he's really active on Instagram. He is a neighbor of mine, and he competes with me, and I have to fight him at the bin. So I literally have to pick him up and throw him in the bins.
Nice.
This is Early Bird. He is Oscar.
Hey, Oscar, how you doing?
We got Nana Tink Treasures. Good to see you. Yeah, I know it's hard for her to make it here. Thank you for being here, Trish. Sending you love and light. You're an awesome content creator too. She just hit 1,000 not too long back too. Yep. There's Lucky Charm. Oops, where did she go? Come back.
Hi, Wendy.
Yeah. That's Big Daddy Spips.
Yes, that's our local competition right there. Is Big Daddy Brian.
Wasn't he on your? Yeah, he's the one that y'all had on that live one day, and we were trying to get him up to 100. Did he ever reach that 100?
He's like 120 now. Yeah.
There we go, y'all. If you don't know Big Daddy, go down and see him. He's not only just good friends of Korbin and Aimee, but he's a good guy. I've watched him on the live, and he's very smart. Like he knows his content and stuff. Good. We'll have to get him on one day. We'll see what. Oh, look who's here! R1J1. Whoop, whoop.
Hi, Jules.
And we got Ella, Miss Ella.
Hi,
I want
Ella.
to sing this song, but I'm not going to sing it because I'll make a fool out of myself. I think we got pretty much anybody. Do you see anybody else coming in, Luis?
Let's see who else we got.
Philly Picker right there.
What
this guy, he found a banger. he knows I'm not gonna leave him alone.
What up, Joe?
It's like this guy found a banger. I want to
Yeah, I saw that.
I'll pay your price. Just hit me up. Don't sell it on eBay. If it's sold, I'm gonna be angry at you.
Was that the dead stock tee?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love Darth Maul. I just love that Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. Good to see you, Philly Picker. Thanks for being here. And we got Sola Seller.
Hi, Dory.
Iris Collins always comes in when you see her. Maybe one day she'll come visit. She always puts those 3 drinks. So we'll give you guys 2, and either Luis and I will have to share one. So there we go. Luis, why don't you start us off with a good question? Just a basic little icebreaker.
Sure. Yeah. So, what was one of the items that you guys got comfortable? Like, what niche did you guys get comfortable selling? Like, what product is one of your more profitable ones, or one that you guys are more comfortable with reselling?
Definitely video games. In the beginning, we kind of started to do a broad, general, base category of items, and we learned that we need to become experts, or at least very well educated in one niche before expanding and moving out.
Now, I will say that was only for about a week.
Yeah.
And then we got our very first bulk buy. We got $22,000 worth of items for $1,500. So, and that was like thousands of video games, a couple hundred consoles, accessories out the wazoo. So.
And this was pre-YouTube, but in our latest videos, if you look at our intro, how it's like those 3 videos, some of those snippets are from where we put it on Instagram, videotape them the back of the U-Haul full of video games. And so
that is awesome.
We don't have a YouTube video of it, but we have little snippets of videos kind of showing the very first.
At least you have some kind of form of documentation. It's fun. Yeah. That's I try. I failed to bring that up. Aimee and Korbin is like part of our delivery as resellers is we like to document our journey. So by far we got to first and foremost I want to congratulate you both. If anybody in the chat doesn't know this, they not only reached 1,000 but they surpassed it. Well deserved. So where's my cowbell? I can ring it, but I'll annoy everybody in the live, so I'm not going to do that. But congratulations, you guys. Can you talk a little bit about that documentation of that journey and how it's been like? What's the balance been like? Did it happen real fast? Is your head still spinning? Are you still digesting this whole atmosphere? This is a great achievement. So, congratulations.
YouTube is awesome. Honestly, the best part for us is the community. Whenever we're, in our 60s, we can look back at this and cool, But I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it.
When you're a full-time reseller, it can be very lonely. And once I stopped going to the bars with all my buddies, and we started becoming serious and a little bit more mature for our age, we kind of lost most of our friends because they're like, well, I want to go drinking, and I'm like, well, I want to go to a thrift store and go thrifting. So, it's good to have a
little more redeeming, isn't it? Instead of waking up with a hangover after hanging out with your buddies, in the back of a truck out, in a field with a 24 pack or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Which one would you rather have, a hangover from hell or like 15 items sold?
Yep.
I don't mind a good drink, but I don't drink like I used to when I was young. And I tell you what, that buzz that I get from finding something that is like, even if it's only 20 on up, it's a nice little woo.
Yeah.
It's a little high. It's like,
definitely.
But also knowing that cha-ching. So, resellers, we're a different breed. But and I want to go back to something you said, Korbin. Thank you for bringing it up. I appreciate your integrity and your honesty, and that's what I think. I'm going to speak for myself. I personally enjoy watching you guys. I may not comment and come all the time, but I've been watching probably the majority of your videos. I go back, I'm watching clips and tidbits, but there's a genuineness about the way you guys come off, and you guys are just, doing your game. But like you said, there is this loneliness. Now, it may be a little different for you guys. You have each other, this and that. You can talk to each other. But you still, as an individual, it's nice to have somebody else to bounce an idea back. So, and I'd like to hear Aimee a little bit on this, and then I really want to hear from you too, Korb. But maybe you can speak to that whole concept, because when we talk about being a mindful merchant, are you mindful of where are you in the present moment? Like, man, I'm feeling kind of, a little bit angry or just lonely or whatever it is, because maybe you're doing an Army gig and you got to be away for a little bit, or something like that. So, and I remember, I think Aimee, was it like a couple weeks back? You said, yeah, I'm here. Korbin's away. How is that working for you guys? Is that, Aimee, please.
I hate it. I hate when he leaves. Absolutely.
It's hard, huh?
It's the worst. I mean, whenever he's gone, he's working hard, right? So that's what I'm doing while he's gone. And I try to get 100 or more listings done while cleaning the house and doing all the laundry. And let me tell you, our laundry, we don't do it. Like, we wait until he leaves and then I do it.
I'm guilty of that. And I sell clothes. And if I don't do laundry, I'm going to be in deep, doo-doo. Because, like, I think this looks clean. Let me just...
It's like a full month's worth of clothes that I have to do. So it's that and it's a lot of work. But it's nice knowing that, whenever he gets home, he's not stressed about, listings, and it's all done. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, there's work to be done no matter what, because he's still doing his work, which, genuinely is going to come to fruition, and it's going to help in one way or another for you guys to build a future. But, and I want to go over to my co-host, because we all know I love to talk and I can yap, but I got so many questions, and I'm always excited to have somebody new on. That's the whole format of the show. Just, we want to give you all a chance to kind of just shine a little bit, but also, Aimee, you brought up another good point, is that, like you said, not only like you said, oh, I hate it, but you brought up, there's this idea that people forget we're resellers, but we have a household to take care of. Whether you have pets, whether you have, like, dishes in the sink, just life to deal with, aside from, oh, I got to get those 100 listings done. Luis, talk about it, because you're the all-time king, and you're the president of the United States. You're a teacher. You're a full-time reseller. You're a dad.
I'm the principal. Yep. I'm the teacher. Yep. I'm a little bit of everything. I wear lots of hats. Well, yeah, I resell full-time, and like, both of my kids are doing online schooling right now, so I have to kind of balance all my time, getting up at 5 in the morning just to, pack whatever sold overnight on eBay or on Mercari, take some pictures, list, and then get them up at 7, and then get them breakfast, get them ready for school. Then once they start school, then I got to juggle if any more sales come in, and just, that's how my whole morning goes until the afternoon, till about 11:30, 12 my time. Then I got to feed them lunch again, and then, once they finish up, then I got to make sure that they do their homework, entertain, and I mean, it's hard, I mean, you've been on the phone with me, Louie. What am I doing sometimes? I'm either helping myself with homework or washing dishes and doing, because my wife works full time. So
and I want to yap to him, and I want to tell him about, like, my day or something. Hey, bud, guess what I found? And he's like, and I think he's talking to me. He's talking to his kids. Oh crap! I got a phone call coming in, and this guy's hustling, here. And so, yeah, it's crazy, because, like, when you got a life to deal with, you got a life to kind of reach out and deal with these other aspects and stuff. There was something I was going to bring up that kind of pertained to that, but I don't know. I like the looseness of this, just kind of talking organically, because it's just like us sitting over a cup of coffee and just being realistic and, like, saying these are expectations we have. Oh, that was what I was going to ask. What Luis kind of reminded me is, like, having all this agenda. We all have our agendas. We all have our schedule. Do you guys keep an accountability board? Like, how do you keep, your schedules and logistics and things? Because, like, Korbin has his schedules at times and whatnot, and I'm sure that can fluctuate. And Aimee, I'm sure you have things you like to go do, and and whatnot. And you, like you said, you got things to get done. How do you keep? How do you keep your schedules? Like, and do you find that helps you, as a reseller?
Yeah, we've got a few things that we do. We have a notebook, and we write down, like, a to-do list every night for stuff to do tomorrow. And most of the time we make it unrealistic, but it's just, it kind of, like, motivates us to, okay, maybe we can finish it this day. But, we definitely shoot for the stars on the daily to-do list. We have a networking board in the room.
Nice.
So just, possible collabs we'll be doing, and how we can get to them, how we can, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we have
that's good.
Lined up, and
yeah, we got like 20 videos lined up, so that we don't have to, like, worry about sitting down thinking about what's the next move. Yeah, I mean,
that's great logistics thinking. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're fairly organized. Definitely not perfect, but you know, we've done for 2 years. We're gonna have, you know, adaptations that we'll improve on eventually, or
Yeah.
you know, which is
Yeah,
part of the game.
I think the only thing that isn't organized with us is our death pile.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's something that's fun because, like, along with everybody talks about, oh, I got this goal. Well, goals reach end of the week.
Yep.
And goals usually come by a monthly thing. Like Luis and I'll talk about, you know, what do you got on your agenda for this week or whatever. But, you know, at the end of the year, you hope that you reached a surmountable, things of achievements that you just try to focus on. Like, oh, I want to make sure I build that shed out back. Let's get that done by October, whatever. So you have at the end of the year, you say, look at all these goals I met. But I think when I was talking to Johnny this morning on Cajun, Roots Resellers channel, and I was saying, I think we all can, somebody in the live mentioned, like, we can all get a little stressed and overwhelmed, if we don't take it to some level of like, okay, yeah, there's goals, but what daily aims can you do? Like you said, you're writing, daily notes and stuff, but I don't know how you guys do it or handle it. And if you have, aspirations of changing it, like, because I think technology in the future, who knows how we're going to be able to like move faster and quicker. But at the same time, that's not necessarily a good thing, because multitasking, as I learned in business 101, it's the no. You're not really supposed to multitask. You're supposed to focus on one, task at a time. But
if I write stuff down by hand, I tend to not forget it. So doing stuff by hand to me is kind of old school, I guess, in 2021. But I've got a pretty good memory, and if I write it down, it's almost a guarantee I'm not going to forget it. But if I just shoot a text over, I'll forget it.
Well, how about Aimee?
I like writing stuff down too. I mean, I try to just remember it because I want to, challenge myself to don't forget, but there are some things that I have to write down, like absolutely have to. So
Okay.
I'm definitely a writer.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about when you write some down, you go, oh crap, I forgot that. Where's that damn sticky note, or whatever it is. And it's like, and otherwise, I think it can lead to, I'm not saying you guys, I'm not speaking to you per se, but like, I think resellers, we can gain these little anxiety spots, whether it's frustration or just discouragement or lack of energy, and it just kind of wanes you down into like another thing. How do you deal with those moments of like, bummerisms, if you will,
I don't know if you've ever played Call of Duty. Do you know
Wait, say that again? What'd you say, Luis?
Call of Duty.
No, she said Call of Duty.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
You know the rage that you get like from being like spawn killed? That's how I feel whenever I mess up something that I shouldn't. And you just want to like chuck the controller or like hit the or something, You know what I'm talking about?
I'm now having empathy for Korbin right now. I'm like watching him smile going, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's the same way, but like,
I love it.
That frustration, you just want to punch something.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, because, we forget that as resellers, we're not just the hustler that needs to focus and stuff. We got to stop. We got to breathe. We got to drink water. We got to take care of ourselves. Like you said, you got to wash that load of laundry eventually. Otherwise, Korbin's not going to be sitting next to you for.
We watch it once we're out of clothes. Like, we got to watch it.
Or just do like I do. Just wash it when you take a bath, and get two things done at once. And it's like.
We got a question in the chat, Louie.
Which one is it? Is it by who?
It's R1J1 Jules. There you go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You read it, Luis.
She's asking, it seems to me couples working this together do much better. What's your take?
I would say it depends on the couple.
Yeah, you've got to be best friends, and you both have to love what you're doing. And
you have to be very open and understanding and patient and
not take offense.
Yeah, not be offended.
I was gonna say that's a good one, Aimee. But I like Korbin's thing about it's. It sounds cliche, but you really gotta. If you're not a patient person, you have no business being in this type of work. But like Aimee was saying, you also just don't take it personally. You got to rub it off the shoulder. Yeah. Oh, Korbin's being Korbin. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go walk this out of the room for a little bit. You go finish your Monster drink. And no, but it's great because I like to use the term and express it as power couples,
Yeah.
But two people, two heads better than one. You guys can, at least even if he's not in the house for that week and he's got to be gone for, his duties. And by the way, thank you for your service because, people don't understand. I came from a military family, so I understand the whole thing. It's a big commitment and it's a big service. And so thank you. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you just kind of, a lot of balance. Let's just put it like that. Luis, you got another banger question for us or anything?
Sure. Like I say, I know you guys are doing the reselling now and doing the content creator. Where do you guys see yourself a year from now? Where would you like to be?
Oh, a year from now, not 5 years. It's normally 5 years question.
We know we're gentle. We're just like, give us a year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do 5. I'll do 1 year.
Plus 5 years, so many things can change. Look what happened just the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Did we even think we'd be kind of where we're at? I don't know. But like, what are your guys? I want to see if you both have a different take on it.
Well, it just depends, if he gets deployed or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like, in a
So things can be up in the air for you guys. You got to really.
Right
I didn't know that. Okay.
We're hoping that YouTube takes off, and that's another source of income.
Definitely.
But honestly, we have no idea right now.
Yeah, I would say I've got some goals. I would like 10,000 subs within 12 months.
Wow.
By the end of the year, shoot, we can do it.
We might be able to. It just depends. A lot of stuff has to go right, and
yeah,
and that's what people don't see. They see an 8-minute video on our YouTube channel. They don't see 3 months of in this case me networking and messaging and throwing cards out there, seeing if they'll catch. It's a lot more than just like an 8-minute video. It's a grind, and so yeah, it's not really up to us if we hit that. It's up to the response of the audience, obviously the subscribers if they like what we're doing, and then other people.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that goes along with being a mindful merchant. So, and and saying that being mindful is being aware. So like that you both are paying attention and you're both able to, at least you have each other. You can have this dialogue and bounce ideas back, and whether it's reminders or whatnot. But like knowing that audience participation is such a big take in this game of being a content creator, because analytics are just like, you better be on your ball. Like if you really want to start playing the number game, it's a lot of work, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And so like what if you had to give a tip to somebody that's a new reseller that wants, or just anybody that's a content creator might be watching this or thinking about, hey, I want to dabble in YouTube, but I want to talk about this, whatever it is, what advice would you give them?
Don't be afraid to be yourself.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to offend people by being yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's how we are. And yeah, sometimes we offend people, but that's us,
Yep.
And if we are not everybody's cup of tea, I'll say that. But I mean, we like what we're doing. We enjoy the content that we're putting out. So
yeah, my kind of piggybacks off Aimee's. It's more of just don't try to be a people pleaser. Don't try to worry about pleasing 100% of the people that watch, because you will not. So you can either be fake and still have haters, or you can be yourself and have haters.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm kind of lazy, so I'm just gonna be myself.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
gonna go the extra mile to be fake.
Think about how long you have to keep that act up for, and if you slip, you're like, oh no, they see the real me. Just let them see the real you the whole time.
Yep.
I've listened to other content creators talk about, I'm not gonna say names, but they talk about like, I'm sick of these damn fake people and this and that, and then like you kind of watch them over time and like, well, you're kind of in the game, but at the same time it's like, so that's that fine line. Are we here to entertain somebody, or what is our intentions for being on YouTube? And I found that's been like a healthy dose of like realism, of just being brutally honest, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like, what can you bring to the platform? And like you guys said, I think it's a great highlight. I think you couldn't touch upon it more. Just be yourself. It's like, people are not going to like you. What are you going to do? Cry? It's like, you can't mourn over, spoiled milk. That's not your issue anyway. So, I'll just go back to the store and buy me a new gallon of milk. Luis gets it, and it's like, he knows. I mean, like, it's like we're here to have fun. I think you guys brought up this whole thing. You want to talk a little bit about the community? Like, what was your first interactions and what? By the way, we've covered a lot here in just 30 minutes. We still got we got a little while together. So talk about the community. What has been some of your fun interactions? We know that you met like Justin, and he was one of the first that were, you were able to kind of like collaborate with, and just become a better acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the community? Can you say, talk about?
Why is it all on me?
It's an awkward question. It is an awkward question.
Well,
but I mean, it could be sappy. It could be just like, I don't know how to answer that.
Kind of like what Louis is asking is like, how have you guys enjoyed the community so far? I mean,
we
what
love
are your?
the community.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that we've interacted with, I'll say there's a community, and then there's our community, the people who we choose to,
Yeah, definitely.
in with. I don't know, the people that we interact with fairly often, we really enjoy. We really like them. We consider them friends, especially Dad.
Shout out. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's a community just like a community anywhere else in high school. There's your drama, there's your
church,
your jealous people. I mean, it's just
different personalities, right?
Yeah, different ways people grew up. So some things we do, they're like, I would never. It's like, well, we do, So yeah, it's like any community really. You have your friends, you got the people who kind of like sit back and watch, and then you got your people who want to start drama. It's just like any community.
And it depends on I think it really can be. I mean, I'm gonna interject. It's like, I think it's really good for any, let's just say YouTubers, because we're talking about content creation. We are on YouTube. So for example, I think it's good for YouTubers to just constantly be aware that, hey, you don't have to respond. You don't have to say something. You don't have to always be a part of the community. You can stand back and watch. It was nice. Like this weekend, somebody reached out to me because I've been sourcing Friday, literally all day. I was up at 6. I didn't get home till 5, but in between there, between 8 and 4:30, I was sourcing, and they were like, "I noticed you're not on YouTube and this and that." And I just smiled. At first, I used to go, "Well, what the hell? Am I supposed to be everywhere all?"
I know, right?
But you can't. You can't be everywhere at once. So that that can ruffle feathers with some people. But if that is, so be it. I mean, you can't. I already gotten to know, I don't know, hundreds of people, and it's great. And once in a while, I think about that person. I'll reach out to them, maybe months, and I'll say, "Hey, I'm sorry, just life and whatnot," But it's just interesting because this community is just a plethora, and we meet new people. They go away. Sometimes they come back, and it's back to normal, Or you see people, and I've seen a few go away, and it's kind of disheartening, because you're like, oh man, I really wanted to see where their journey was going, but they call it quits, And have you heard of a guy? Oh, now I'm trying to remember his name. Everybody's been mentioning him for a while. Do you know what I'm talking about, Luis? It's one Asian dude, and he was in there, Jeremy or no, I can't remember his name, but somebody in the live chat knows who I'm talking about. And this guy went away for a while too, and came back, and as soon as he came back, it was like, woo, Do you guys think you would see yourself that maybe hey, whether it's because of the army or whatever, or Aimee, do you think you'd be able to handle it doing YouTube without Korbin, or how would you guys deal with that? Would you take a pause? What would be your thoughts on that?
I've got one off the bat. I think if Aimee ever becomes possibly in danger because of YouTube, 96% of our audience is male.
Yeah,
you can see why. So, internet's full of creeps, full of weirdos. So if we ever got too big, I guess, you can be any size and have bad stuff happen. So, if we ever got to the point where I felt that she was possibly in danger, that's when we'd cut YouTube by, and that's just, I guess, the protective.
It's setting a boundary. That's a healthy boundary. That's part of being a mindful merchant is and I'm glad that kind of came up. That was not where I was going, but I'm glad you brought it up because, we're doing this. I just talked to people who were like, hey, I don't need to be doing content creation. Some of them just kind of go through some mental stress. They have, you know, whatever, you know, it could be post-traumatic stress disorder, or they could just be like burned out. They just find out, I don't really care about this anymore. But like what you brought up was a good thing. Sometimes we have to set boundaries, you know, and it's like, you know, it's always good to say, I'm going to take care of myself, take a little pause, see you guys in a month, you know, or something like that. And, you know, that's a first for us to talk about like that. And I think it's a healthy thing to approach, you know. I've thought about it, like, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say we kind of have like the perfect storm for it to happen. You know, we do video games, a lot of men like video games, and then you got a pretty girl who knows about video games and plays video games. So it's like a good little mixture to possibly happen.
There's the chemistry in that works really well. But like you said, I think it's you coined the term perfect. It's like it is a perfect storm. But you're very observant. I've watched you both. The way you talk about things, like in your videos, you guys, that observation is what's going to, I think, be your key strength, not just as a content creator, definitely as a content creator, but like as a reseller. I think it's so imperative that you guys, you know, keep that angle of like knowing your networking. Like if you're able to work a deal, and like you said, get in a bundle deal like that, you don't have to go out and source as much. You know, you can then shift and say, okay, I'm going to give 10% more back to YouTube. We got stuff to do. We could be taking videos at home or whatnot. You know, it's like you always got to have that reflection, I guess, as a business person, you know, it's like, how can I lessen the stress, you know? And it's like, you know, for some people, they don't want to go out and source. They want to go buy it online, and they want to, you know, so like, I'm the kind of guy like, hey, let me be your guy. Come to me. I'm your reseller that will sell to other resellers. I got so much crap, you know. It's like that give tit for a tat, but it's like everybody's scratching each other's back. But it's like, why not network and why not help each other? You know, it's like it's a hard thing. Let's say hi to a couple more people. We got the flipping sports guy here. It's awesome. He's talking to everybody. Resell Dojo. Hey. If you guys don't know him, follow him. Beautiful Regina, who is the better half of Wednesday Hump Day. She's awesome, and she just put out a cooking video, and I'm angry at her for that because she makes good food. Annie Aldaco. Who's this, Luis? Do you know this guy?
Yeah, that's Chuck. Hey, Chuck.
What's up, Chuck? That's a bad joke.
Hey, Mark. How you doing, buddy?
Once again, did I miss any questions or anything? Did you guys notice something? Or
what's up, Westside Gary?
I didn't see any questions.
Oh, let me go back down, because guess what? Westside Gary, if you guys don't know him, check him out. Some of the best auctions out there. Gary's full of knowledge and content. Talk about a sharp cookie. He knows his stuff. What do we have here? So I'm still learning everybody's names in this corner of the reselling community. Bear with me. Let's talk about that. Like, how hard is it for you guys? Are you guys good with names? Because I'm terrible with names. I'm just.
It was for a second. It was pretty hard, but then we started talking to everybody, and it looked like that.
Especially every day.
Yeah, every day. We were talking to the same people. Whenever new people come in, it's a little bit more difficult. But after talking to them twice, it kind of clicked.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, I mean, we can talk about different things in the ground, but let's talk about something fun for once. And by the way, hey, Sal's Mercado's here. Good to see you, buddy. And I thought I clicked on his name. I guess I lost it. There it is.
I saw Sal yesterday in Nintendo's live.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He makes some really cool. If you guys want to customize your own little tape dispenser, he makes them for you. Like if you want Pokemon in it, or if you want Call of Duty on it, he'll figure out how to put it on that thing. Pretty cool. Yeah. Oh. Where do you guys source mostly? Where do you guys like to source? And
where do we like to source?
Yeah, where do you like to source? The most, and just talk about sourcing. Like, where do you guys go? What do you do?
We enjoy yard sales the best, but whenever it's winter time, pawn shop.
Subject. It's always subject to different things.
Yeah, pawn shops are a big one though.
Well, the reason I asked that question is, I think in one of your videos, if anybody watched these guys, if you guys don't know them, down below, links, click, like, subscribe, hit those notification bells, help them out. They're almost
Yep.
at 2,000, and congratulations again. What about pawn shops? Because go ahead, Luis. I'm sorry.
No. Just saying congratulations to them. They're almost going to hit the 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is awesome. You guys aren't watching their content. You guys are missing out on some great stuff.
Yeah, be patient with them if they don't get back to you, because that's busyness. So go ahead,
Yeah.
Korbin or Aimee. When you all were saying something?
Oh, I said the giveaways. I was like doing a little plug.
Oh yeah. Did you guys give the giveaway already?
Yeah, we shipped it out. So.
Oh, who won it?
Scott
Iris.
Isler.
Isler.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's here in Kentucky, so it should get there within a day.
Awesome.
Wow. Talk about convenience. And it lessens the shipping cost, I think.
That's what
That's terrible. Wow. Well, no, and that one of the reason I was saying is, like, if you guys watch their content, when I was giving another plug of like and subscribe, you guys talk about pawn shops, because I love pawn shops. A lot of people go, you go to pawn shops to go source? I'm like, heck yeah, talk about it. Look at them shaking their head. Yeah,
pawn shops are doing it. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Aimee.
pawn shops don't really know anything about video games, especially in the South. They don't care about video games at all. Like, there might be, a 64 game that's priced pretty much right at market value. But
okay.
Normally, they want like $1, $2 per game.
Yeah, our biggest tip is don't go to pawn shops in the cities. Go to pawn shop in a more rural area where they care about weapons and fishing gear and stuff like that. Because if they do
practical stuff and good stuff in the South. Yeah.
Yeah, if they do have video games, they think they're worthless. We
Except for the newer video games like Xbox One and PS4, they're going to price us a little bit higher.
But
let's talk about video games a little bit, like, because I'll be honest, I'm not a subject expert on it, but I mean, I'm not clueless, because like I know how to look stuff up, and I just don't have the time to play video games like I used to, and I'm so far behind on what's cool and what's hip, and and it's like, I mean, talk about your love for it, but like, where do you think your expertise comes into it?
Yeah, we both just grew up playing video games. She has older brothers, so that she got the hand-me-downs of all the Marios and Zelda games. And
wow,
I'm a Zelda girl.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, how good are you at Zelda, Aimee? Because I can kick your butt. I'm telling you, that I can. Let's bring it on. Bring it.
Well, honestly, I didn't know that you could even beat a video game until I was like 10 years old. I just thought it was like an open world concept. It was so bad. My brother was like, you can like actually finish that, right? I was like,
interesting.
Cool.
It's like, you mean I can beat it like I beat you guys at everything else? It's like, so she's very competitive, I take it, Korbin.
Yeah.
You had a lot of brothers. Oh, Lord have mercy.
And
I had a lot of sisters.
Both are.
Yeah, we are both very competitive and hard-headed. So I'm the one that like, like, okay, yeah, sure, you win.
Luis asked me, he wanted to know, I said, don't ask that question, Luis, but he wanted to know which one of you are the most stubborn. He's going to get mad at me.
Who's the most?
Mm-hmm.
I think that one depends, really.
Depends on if you ate dinner or not, or whatever. You had your coffee.
If Aimee hasn't been fed for the day, she's a monster.
She gets hangry.
Love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. You know about HALT?
Go ahead.
You know about HALT, HALT?
Like stop and work, like stop working?
Stop, drop, and roll?
Luis, do you remember what the acronym stands for?
No, I don't remember. I know Emily did.
Our first guest was Emily Conway, if you guys know her.
Mm-hmm.
And she always talks about HALT in terms of mental well-being. And it says hungry, angry, forget what L stands for, and T is for tired. What were we saying? What?
Laxatives.
Not quite. I wouldn't go there.
No.
I forgot what it was, but somebody in the chat mentioned it, but it's like hungry, angry. So like when you're hungry, angry, and tired.
Angry, lazy, tired.
Pretty much something like that. But it's like you're supposed to just say, okay, time to step back. Whether you're listing or whatever, take a break. What was the worst customer you guys ever had on whatever platform, or whether it was a real life event with Facebook Marketplace or whatever? Oh, look at Korbin. He's thinking good.
I know the worst person that we bought from at a flea market. Worst customer? Oh,
Or-
the GameCube girl.
Oh.
Yeah. We sold a GameCube on Facebook Marketplace, and
Decided to.
And part of me, that was my fault. I used the word, lack of a better word, worse. The most difficult and arduous person that was challenging. Yeah.
Okay, well, so it was on my Facebook. Okay, sold a chick a GameCube. Didn't have the serial number in there, and that's why it's like drilled into our heads now. Take a picture.
Oh.
We ticked me off so much, but so we used PayPal, right? Never,
Yeah.
we'll never use that again, ever. We are Venmo people only now for Facebook. So she decides right before it was on like the 28th day. You know, there's like 30-day period where you can get your money back on PayPal. She decides on the 28th day to text and say, "Hey, this doesn't read any games," which skirt incorrect. I put pictures of it working and playing a game in the listing.
Wow.
So, and she was like, "Well, I just I ordered games from GameStop, and they just came in." Bull. They come in very quickly. I know exactly where she's located, and there's a GameStop like 2 minutes from her. So, okay. So she's like, "Yeah, I just got them today, and they're not working." And I'm like, "Well, it's not the system."
I think she had some buyer remorse, and then that's kind of when the virus hit, and people were losing jobs and were struggling for money. So I think it's more of just
that's a good thing to be aware. Is like, so once you're conscious of this, because if you want to be mindful about how your business practices is like, yeah, it's frustrating, yeah, it's aggravating, and yeah, you're going to deal with challenging people, and to put it politely, but how you handle your business is, I think, what's going to lessen your stress. Like, if it's a margin, let's talk about cost of goods. If it's under 10 or 20 bucks, sometimes I'm like, here's your money back, go away.
Yeah,
boom, block. And especially when they're pulling punches, but like, who knows? Like you said, it could be buyer's remorse or whatnot. By the way, I found out, remember this is a good thing. If you guys have an accountability board, just write it on a sticky note, put it next to the computer, Aimee. HALT is hungry, angry, loneliness, and being tired. So, yeah. So, and that was the one thing we talked about, was like, we really have, people I don't want to sound like, oh, pity us, resellers, but it can be a really lonely game at times, And I think that's why we love that game. We're looking for that satisfaction. It's like, woohoo, look what I found, I found the one and only last, edition of this Zelda game, and it's worth, we all want the grails, but, but do you think that's also a psychological, how should I put this? Do you think it's like a crutch that just kind of takes over for emotional, lackings and stuff at times?
I don't know if we're that deep into it yet. Again, we're young. We're not not really worried about growing old and lonely.
Well, not in that respect, but
But there's definitely times where it's like, I just want to go hang out with my boys, take a break, because we're together 24/7.
Rude.
I'm just.
Well, I mean, but human nature is human nature, and that's another way of like politely saying he wants to give you your personal space, and sometimes it's like, yeah, it's nice for a change up, it's like,
I mean, and that's just, I'm sure she had, she wants to go out with her girls sometimes, and it's just,
I would if I hung out with you, boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
But that's just.
Well, listen, y'all. It's been great. I want to tell you, thank you both for coming on here. I know you were like, we don't know what to expect. Louie is a little bit nuts. We've only met him a couple times, and my co-host, this is the patient one, and he's been watching all the trolls and the moderation here and stuff. I couldn't do this show without him, so I got to give a big thanks. But really, thank you guys for being here. We're close on our cusp for time, and we want to be respectful, so you guys can have more quality time together. So hey. And what do you guys have that you want to tell everybody about your brand? Like, what is it that you guys you would like to see happen? what is it you want to tell them? Like, this is what we're doing. I mean, you know, because you're not necessarily a typical everyday kind of reselling channel. Everybody has a different little twist on it. What could you tell us about them? If there's a new reseller watching this and rewind here on replay, what would you say to them?
I mean, yeah, I guess we're definitely not your typical social media people. Definitely not. We are kind of like what we said. We're not worried about offending people. We're not worried about pleasing everybody. And we're definitely not going to be fake. So, like, when you see us doing YouTube 2 years from now, you're not going to have any surprises. It's the same. You're going to see the same consistent attitudes and behaviors. We are planning on doing some merch. We've had lots of requests for merch, so we might start going down that road.
Bring out some crew necks or something.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we're just a couple kids out here reselling, trying to share the journey, trying to teach people.
Just have fun. That's really what it's about. Like when you start doing it and it becomes a job, you ask yourself, why am I doing this anymore? You know, that's my one thing is like, if I don't want to make a video, I don't make a video. People are like, well, Louie, you're not going to get 1,000. And I'm like, maybe I won't for 7 years. I don't, you know? And it's like, I'm not on that route, you know, for me personally, but you know, I see my numbers rise and I'm grateful for that. And it's like, really, you know, I'm still surprised this day that people even want to listen to half that, you know, of the articulation that I try to come across and share. But my passion for this community, you know, is that I think we would be better if we get along. And it sounds so like old man cliche, like, but if we can just find better connections and just at least be aware of each other and, you know, not step on each other's toes. I think that if we meet each other weeks down the road or months and say, hey, you know, you got a live, can I hop on? Yeah, let's talk, you know, or whatever you guys are doing, or, you know, just, you know, sometimes a deal down the road that you can't handle, you can pass it on to somebody else, you know, and stuff like that. It's just great to network and connect, but really, I think it goes with that letter L in the word HALT and that acronym of HALT. You know, I think we're just better to serve each other in a way that we can be a little more mindful. So, you know, I thank you guys for being a part of this community. I think you guys are onto something really clever and honest and, you know, just really unique. And so just keep being you, but bring us, you said no surprises, but I think you guys should bring some cool surprises in terms of what you guys find. Just,
yeah,
you know,
no surprises. For sure.
What our personalities.
You're like, what is Louie going to say? Uh-oh.
Yeah, so Gary had a question that's on the screen right now.
Let me go down here and find, is it like, let me, it's pretty recent. Did I just, oh, it's on the screen. Did I, yeah, let's read it up. Go ahead. I don't have my glasses.
Yeah, so we've only had 2 games that are probably worth grading that we've come across. And at the time, again, like we jumped headfirst into reselling. So we had a factory sealed Pokemon Coliseum for the GameCube and a factory sealed Dragon Ball Z.
Budokai 3.
There you go. For the PS2. Both those are sealed. Those are the only 2 games probably worth getting graded. And we just sold them as raw copies. But also at the time, we didn't know grading for video games was a thing.
Nope.
We knew about graded Pokemon cards. We dabbled in that, but we didn't know video games could get graded. So, no, we don't have any. We haven't sold any. We do plan on going the graded route now that we kind of can collect and not we're not required to resell everything we get. But yeah, so video games that are graded are definitely in the future.
That's awesome. No, because you know I'm thinking about something else, but I'm laughing at the. I went ahead. I'm not one that I don't mind poking fun at myself, but like what what was said there?
What James was saying.
I'm speechless. No, that's awesome. No, because like most people think, you know, sports gear and stuff, cards and whatnot, it's the only thing to be graded. But like today, it's all about authentication.
Yeah.
You know, if you can do that, think about it from a reseller's perspective. It's like, woo, you know, yeah, I got a goodie here, and look at this. It's been, you know, has a credential here and whatnot. So you can do that with video games, man. Isn't it great how like if it weren't for collectors, we wouldn't be necessarily where we are. You know,
that's true. That's very true.
It's one thing to have like a fad or a craze come in, like, you know, with certain things, and then it tends to dwindle and die down. Like I think Funko Pops are gonna, you know, fall off the face of this earth like Avon bottles pretty soon. And, but what do you guys have for final words if you had to share with a new reseller that you meet, like, and they're going to be the person that's watching this right now on replay, what would you tell them? Like, if they want to get into reselling or YouTube content creation? Aimee, you already answered one of them. So just reselling. Let's just say reselling.
Pick one thing and stick with it for a little bit. Find your niche. Don't do everything. We tried it for about a week, failed, and then pick video games.
And I would just say, if you're young and getting into reselling, just be prepared to stay up late and wake up early. Sleep less, work more. If you're young, your body can handle it.
Grind away.
Just grind. Just don't stop. Don't look back either. Just take off and go.
Yeah. Good advice. Great suggestions. I appreciate you both. Thank you for being here with us.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
It was a joy. Maybe we'll have you in the future, if time permits, and we don't know, with everybody's schedules, and we're trying to get in as many, resellers in this community, and it's like, we only get to do this once a week, and believe it or not, I think like, what is this, Louis? Like the 31st episode or something?
Yeah,
like
you guys,
wow, I'm like, we're almost into a year of this. It's like, we just hope that this is going to be something that's helped somebody in the community. Once again, go check out Aimee and Korbin's channel there, and make sure you like and subscribe because it is down below. But hit that little notification bell. Luis, you wanna hit us out? I'm just gonna say, maintain your focus and elevate everybody. Luis,
thank you. I want to thank Aimee and Korbin for joining us today. Like I said, they make great content. So if you guys aren't following their channel, make sure you guys go to their channel, check out their videos, and believe me, you're gonna be hooked with just watching one video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell so you guys don't miss any of their content. So definitely, I want to thank them for joining us, and thanks everyone for joining us every Monday here on Mindful Merchants. And hopefully everybody has a great rest of the Monday. I know it's already 2 o'clock here in California. It's already 5 o'clock in the East Coast.
Yep.
So you guys enjoy the rest of your Monday, and don't forget.
And Gary said, "Who's Tom Cruise?" Just woke up, so hey, he's gonna have to watch us on replay. Sorry, Tom.
Have to replay it, Tom. Yes, sir. And don't forget, tomorrow we have Tuesday night auction. We'll be starting at 6:30 p.m. So make sure you guys joining us.
Luis, I got 150 pounds of T-shirts I have to go through.
Oh man, that's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, 3 days worth of buying. Yeah. Well, y'all, thank you again. I wish you much success. Just maintain your focus. I think you guys are on something really good. We enjoy you being a part of this community. You are now officially a Mindful Merchant. Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Take care.